abusua like video na yeni Ghana economy ho nkomo kakra ene obepiem ewo Ghana ade baako a ekoso ne se wohwe ye macro indicators na bibia kire se economy ni is stable but se economy ebe stable na timamufo eho be kire omo na omo ho apapa omo a ene na emfaso be na wo so eno nti ena minority in parliament abrebia no omo kan se ato forcing manipulate figures no e please the public and say the world say omo ebo omo hu modern nanso timamufo tie so pa ene ukọ adwama so na ukobi se aduane bo a ne bo den untumi nto rent ye tutum eba transportation a bobo afi nso kura no kese utility bills water any light there na kese gise udi uti ekohye baabi na economists bi edi nkomo acheche nsemu niama ekoso no dia poti na ekoso nti a enei ato forcing ene ne mampanyi so mu dada yo so mu ye den yo untimi hu de ekoso na de bia yesi dollar stable na inflation so kwa na ekofom so Ghana fo bra na ye bre yenje bre na yenkotie nsem no mu nkyeremu poti abra na Frimpong Ziga ene na pamfo transi na chese omutimi ebiebie nsem so yenso yadwenkyere fa nsem a yakoso no ho yemfa into comments.
Indeed, say World Bank no project say ye be inflation rate ni ade aye from 3.2% to see am no say. Now say you project inflation rate about all the way to 9%. Now similarly we are looking at a growth rate be declining from somewhere around I believe it's 6% to 4.8%. Now a idea a hard drink kakra. The entire America say a hard drink kakra me say. If we have an inflation below 4% and we are now looking at inflation jumping from 3.4% to 9%, question is does that mean fundamentals are still no in place? Those fundamentals ain't strong enough now. What is contributing to that potential, or what will be contributing to that potential increase in our inflation rate? So I share fuel prices as over kaya brand fuel prices from all the way to single digit. Now I can say the prices of fuel, local fuel, determined by the world market prices, exchange rate, market competition, and the levies and taxes. But we should one the dominant factor global oil market prices and so we can forecast saying no correct. But you should there happen in Middle East impact I have on our fuel as I say I'm say diesel somewhere around 17 point something, almost close to 18 cedis per liter. We share petrol and also 13 point something premium net crowd there so say above 14 now. Everyone who say the or it suggests to say the fundamentals of the economy in here that strong. Inti idea as a tenancy ye now put it in place strong policies are amaya ye more export oriented and less dependent on imports. Policies are a bit more boa amaya I expanded your tax base. Sani etima raise the necessary revenues a bit more boa invested into the key sectors of our economy. And I'll not be surprised that these are the main factors are World Bank base on I don't almost say inflation with me all the way to 9% because we know him says fuel prices a cost of pay. Automatically that would also impact transportation prices automatically that will also result into increase in food prices in the ekeka.
I see, but yeah can I say ka wo hwe economic indicators here as compared to 2024 no and can nimanimu ye the em say yes in 2024. So my panika say the economy is resilient. Why do we have to argue with him? Say this external shocks never necessarily be drop by 1.2%. Haven't we done well?
Also, indeed, check the macroeconomic indicators. I mean, even MPP are buying free, so January 2025, you know. Now, many of the macro indicators, say inflation, now, say the Bruniva cancer was on a downward trend. That means that inflation rate in a form. Baby, any free, any baby, MPP are buying a jar and a toy. We share GDP growth rate at the same thing. Now, GDP growth rate and so so from the COVID time of 0.5% to 2024 GDP growth rate was somewhere around I believe around 5.7%.
Yeah.
Same with public debt to GDP. I mean, all the indicators were showing say the economy was actually recovering well. And your madana kwanso. But over Kai say yeah, 2025 I say good board of homes and some mobile no more say because as I say, you know, yet me managing gold export is bringing much more inflows into the economy. The exchange rate economies will be including me. I can say for us to build a very solid economy, you know, is also about we put in place solid structures and solid systems in place. We could see what Amanonia impact local and our domestic economy greatly. And none of the lessons MPP are buying no issue from the COVID period and then Russian-Ukraine war. And my man, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, and they go for reserves, no go for oil program. They buy. Say we will be putting in place policies. So we see Amanonia intimately impacting greatly. One district, one factory in was supposed to help us. So now your team are producing many of goods now you're consuming it locally. No, your team are producing it locally. Until say we see what man on there na here say some your man are importing baby you bit to produce what had there na higher kese. But the bank will buy so no o share policies are what pursue right from the onset. We say policies that is geared towards imports. Into I'm try so more pursue an exchange rate a movie dollar CD no to 10 between 10 to 12 Ghana cedis. No? Ama say you know because it is not reflecting the real market dynamics. You know. Ama say you know imports are relatively cheaper. I mean, no cancer say Association of Ghana Industries. And many of our domestic industries complaining say, and no good industries na I must say no the Ghana here be more and more no import here the bank if you are man what the high cost of utilities in this area they say na my industries need to be surviving into a year na se Ghana ebe more import driven see what man on the pen about affect it will show say the economy is so dependent on external factors to say you cannot say is that resilient. An economy that is so much dependent on gold exports. When we is here, gold prices are dropping. It is something that will affect our economy. And one thing many economists say no, actually to pursue policies are a bit to me expand our agricultural sector, a bit to expand the industry, a bit to expand our export sector. And no, you pursue me finally I cancer economy near the bank resilient because the economy if it was that resilient Inca will not be in a situation US Iran war chassis now fuel prices are now and I because a single digit and all of a sudden diesel at 17 Ghana cedis.
I see. So now dog you recently we say fetch for but before we say that question I mean come we say lawyer Daniel Enim Prempe is economist and a private legal practitioner has also joined us was our discussion we say now before I make so no doc mami to we through home I mean call lawyer so And I see a feature for say last week. I even had America Boajo on it. Now feature for the two just say the U.S., Israel, and Iran war. Now that external shocks wouldn't have the impact and hit Ghana to say the SSA hit Ghana because the economy is resilient to that extent. Almost cite your gold purchasing policy. Quite fast you to good new good amanone economy sa normally na. And I be person business say the World Bank funds so the ababe kan ana feature funds so different thing. Sometimes do we have to believe in this international data and research firms, do we have to believe them because they are the same people who also predicted the elections and it came to pass?
What I was saying is, I will leave the judgment to your listeners whether the war that happened with U.S., Iran, whether it's impacted our economy or not. I mean, some of these things, here. Even international agencies and international organizations, I can't share what is like.
Okay.
Economy is so resilient.
Okay, Dr. Nyame Befi, government needs to implement strong policies to expand tax base. Dr. Nyame Befi and Obesa I join you. So let me go to lawyer Daniel A. and Nimprempe, is economist and a private legal practitioner. Say thank you very much. So I join you. And now I hope say you have read the article, the report now about the World Bank for and some more canina say. The inflation that was 3.2%, about 9%. Your growth area was 6%. It will drop to 4.8%. I think that minimum there a bit me a heti beam any idea. We will call it be a catastrophe in a person hated this country. You as economist, if you are to advise the president and prepare what to be that interim measures obey. To reverse this airban because World Bank for they say already predicted that. So we can they are giving us a clue so we can work on it. So what do we have to do to reverse this? Okay, so let me go back to Dr. Nyame Befi. So, Doc, to say a medical canon question, I mean, a lawyer, no say, BBC banner and Pepriano, if you are to advise the president, what would be the measures and the interim measures we should do, just say, be a debate where reverses catastrophe.
Yeah, see, the American, yes, I mean, it would. Ujama Ghana for Kasa your more prediction. I mean, or an answer more own judgment. They will let you. They will tell you say the economy no more say resilient. If it was resilient and can talk away in a very short term, it will not be impacting us that much. Say even transportation here in a cost. So the advice I will give this government
and also Germany. Doc, Pacho, respectfully today, when you go to Germany. They have started feeling the impact, even the largest economy in the world. Say Albania, some of the European countries, they have started feeling it, and some African countries are doing even better than us. Have started feeling it. So,
no, I'm not saying, sir. I'm not saying. I'll be the last person to say, sir, a war in U.S., Iran will not affect us. I mean, yeah, well, Krum has said now. Economist for Babon Tebe can say Russian-Ukraine war affect the economy. Yetete Ibimuas or more Abamus this year can say Russia-Ukraine war over 6,000 kilometers a the air then impacted. But since here no one answer I ten can say US-Iran war affected. I mean I'm an economist, I'm an academic. To me Regina Hamburg can say it's not affecting us. That's what I'm saying. The American here said the likely or the impact, the adverse impact on the economy will be determined by policies behind the way the baby to acquire. Say Ghana is so much focused on gold exports. Now invest into industries. That's a good prices to drop it due to what way. It will affect our economy greatly. So, yeah, focusing on our export sectors. Now all we do is import. Now, yeah, it will also affect us. And Inter America said, based on lessons and experience from the COVID period and the Russian-Ukraine war, there were some lessons learned about the refining or more. Na eboa, aputi economy put on a strong footing. In focus on diversifying the economy and also investing into the export sector, agriculture and industry. And on eboa ama economy in engineer ye. It is a BBC kura se be impact any other bank any kese.
Etina me bisa say eba say na yemfa na say enyaba, and so we have to do something to reverse it. What will it be? You as economist, say eba say we advise on my penina.
So for example, fuel prices. So they say fuel prices they say cost, which will impact transportation at there. In Jordan, fuel levels nibi. Dumso levy one Ghana cedi per liter the buy say I'm going to suspend that levy no na the relief abre Ghana for. So these are some of the practical steps that by bit my taking is here to mitigate the impact by yeso. That one suspended Dumso levy no more review the many levies no more to fuel also.
I see, but that doom solar, say it's for the people that use car or more motor fuel, the power or more machines, printing press, money factories near. But in any bia, ya was a no manner. You bet me I feel that so the ordinary person or no soon use car.
They all kind of maintain was you. Oh baby, over Kesben, one for car. Over car and one for car.
Me car.
Now to fuel and I want to fuel.
To fuel.
The way is impacting all Ghanaians. Because we are there even in Ghana, I want to be free. You crew with the bank crying. Second, I want to be for the Abba. It is a fuel price because we are affected transportation costs. Into way and yet say about affected some Ghanaians not affected, may affect you now.
Now, a basan so are we not living behind the doom so we want to battle the doom so na a baby about Saint Fourth Republic ye person ye di free on a basana affecting no.
Yeah, we need policies and no but boama doom so na the be and we saw it. I mean about we take over and that doom so no more or less not free ho. More increase based on policies yeah man penny His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia the buyer okay ECG revenue collection at ECG increasing from somewhere around 400 an average of 450 million Ghana cedis monthly to over 1 billion Ghana cedis and no solve a financial problem within the energy sector. So these are some of the policies that we are to acquire overburden Ghanaians. So I don't believe in the Dumso levy solve Dumso. No, there are policies that we are to acquire more abwa.
Okay. Now 4.8 no and can enye say 4.8 so because abayi oba be fa sa your friend say economy we say na grow 2024 they grow by 4 the third quarter na 5.5 and ye beto abane na 5.8 and abayi edeko 6%. So upon all these economic shocks no a balance be a grow by 4.8 deficit of 1.2 now. Is it not good for a country like Ghana? Say upon all these things in the BIA to grow by that.
No, and to make sure, sir, it's not only about the macro numbers, but we should also look at impact on, for example, cost of living. We should look at how dependent Ghana's economy is on imports, and and also unaccountable. And if after all these macro numbers, inflation form, but cost of living a cost. I mean, really, the average Ghanaian, then I will feel it. That means that the whole year, the whole chain. And I see it me focus on more. Yeah.
Okay. That's fantastic. Now, before I make jamu akono, inflation is no. There's one of the year in Kofua Kahwa say it does not reflect the world market near the in Kofua crowd free say beer as a manipulation be album near there. Per how o say, do you also tone that you say to say the Kofua Kano?
You see, so we share normally I'm talking about the economy, not for economists. Mama looking to say there a happen will be maybe economists and can once. We a question me busanya for says I can say almost inflation at 3.2%. The average Ghanaian of inflation at 3.2%. Uko zoom utua electricity bill. Feel it. Do you feel say that overfixation on inflation, I don't get it. We should be really looking at the cost of living, because at the end of it, I know me a family home say me cost of living a buffer man, me home here. And the question is here, and the answer to that question is no. Since I work as a me home me home children. So me if you are cry kokumasia ya to car mefa ne boom. If you are cry kosunya baby am free ya to car mefa me boom. So me tofu wala go me car mo ne boy ya ne boy koso. I mean really the cost of living is no answer kwa na koso.
Okay. Dog you better ask. Thank you very much, Dr. Kwesi Nyame Befi, economist and director at the Institute of Economic Research and Public Policy. And I'm going to say but we have some slides to route to you now. What the World Bank for Kankasa. So let's start rolling them one by one. We will say Ghana's economy expected to grow again, and World Bank project 4.8% GDP growth in the 2026. And signals economic recovery after debt crisis, and inflation projected to fall to 9%. Okay, so Menamo can say your growth 6% as of end of 2025 December 2025 na 6%. Okay, so December, January, February, March, April muni yewusisiano. The April muna World Bank for project say for that 6% to be drop at the about 4.8 because of some circumstances on a signal economic recovery after debt crisis. Almost so such as say your economy a bit recover say your debt crisis need na you solve your debt crisis now. That is that inflation projected to fall to 9%. They say inflation 3.2%. In fact, unprecedented in the history of your friend say the Fourth Republic. Your inflation etimia hit to such an extent. So 3.2% and World Bank for say by the end of this year, a bit me hit 9.9%. You better kai say Ura to force now no finance minister no would come here to assess per what is going on. They are doing their best, but per what is going on, that external shocks and all that a bit me inflation by the end of this year now I hit 8%. So the World Bank can 9%. I think that to forcing is very, very good. When it comes to projection. So that is that. So inflation slowing significantly compared to recent years. Okay, so inflation is slow kakra. Or to compare the previous years now. There's an inflation here a different. Okay, so that is that. And according to the World Bank, it says Ghana's economy is expected to grow again, or say indicate improving price stability. But prices will still rise, just more slowly. Okay, so World Bank 4% say indicate improving price stability. Say your prices beya yi kakra. Say we are all kwakota dia anke bia ade ye kwakoto ye kwa na ke bia 5 cedis en shada no enko na enso emanachi. But o se say ebeba ese pese prices ne pese kosoro krampo na ebe yen kakra enye gidigidi. They said that mobile kai se ne wo 2022 2023 and ye be danya ni bia no na inflation no ahete kosoro a ekoya kokodu 52 point something. In fact na ye mu bi na yente enormous no, but World Bank che say winning konkoye sa nimum ebe ko kakra bi do be ko ne ato no mem, but obekɔ ne atomu a ebi ebetimi adi be 3 months ansa na akɔ atomu ente se first ba na ye hit catastrophe season then obekɔ market ne se na awokɔtɔ bi kura wugina hɔ na awotɔ ade no ebi a okɔ akɔtɔ pen ɛwɔ Unisa follow shop eti bi a udu shop hɔ no ye se pen ye 10 cedis uyi sika ne de afi ubotomu wa anya fast and sika ne fast abe sika ne weni atutum eti eno no omo che se enkoyekoye sa we no ebi a slowly. That is that. Okay. And they are also saying say growth driven by mining and oil production and export. And your mining and oil production no and na ebema your growth na sa 4.8 no ma project no ye betimi enya. So your mining no ye beka say gold board e kwanye fa so a you good edifri ha ye export ne sa no man. In fact the gold board has really helped this country, honestly speaking, because ye nim panifo be bredin kumo, including those who oppose the gold board. And even the MPP people, I have spoken with a lot of them. Big catcher say the gold board is the good idea, but NDC need to be managing here. In fact, some of them were even telling me say it is good but Senkebia NPP for the managing now they could have done better than what we are seeing now. So it means that the gold board is good. So the oil production and the export and normal bit me export to the mountain nanka yen cut it down now you free the import driven economy. So the beer ye pese ko kradeba the beer pese ko kradeba na export no and more than what we import now a bit me my economic growth no more than that. So they are also offering us a solution. And normal betimi aboye ama yetimi anya. You say macro stability versus the household reality. Key contrast to emphasis was the economic indicators improving. Cost of living still high for many households. So or say economic indicators keep improving, but cost of living is still high in many households. The World Bank for person much say CCI way World Bank Africa for ne kasa no e no much say CCI kasa ye ka economic indicators e bit say ye ka inflation ho asemi ye beto abane ka inflation no na 21.4 he say me no kasa about 3.2 much say ye indicator it is improving. Ye food inflation nanka food inflation no 21.0 by say food inflation here 5.4 it is improving. Your foreign reserves me no ka say yes your foreign reserves no nanka ye beto abano na 10 billion say I hit 13 billion it is improving. Ye ka bibi to say your GDP ya ba beto abano na ye keka ko $100 billion but you say no ya exceed $100 billion it is improving. On and on. It just said the indicators ni na no ye prime rates ye ka ho asem it just say eno so no improving and na economic indicators no but on just say upon that no uko householder as a ho kire kakra e wo ho ahokyere e wo ho nti aban ni betimi ayi bibi ni a check sa no manama enkofo asa economic indicators ni ntimi impact o mo life positively no aban ni ntimi enso ano nti o mo maye key contrast and emphasis. So wachira we say ne besi no wasa kire okwan a obefa so abetimi amasa no man watimi a reverse na na say wa stop no. So that is that. Highlight or see food prices, transport costs, rent pressure, wage growth lagging behind inflation. So that is that. Into we know or see rent pressures. Say how much say household na ye kan ho asem say ahokyere wo do the economic indicators no so but ahokyere wo ho no sa ahokyere no mo kan bi ne say ye rent pressures say a dime bono as a toan ye tutum do ye see ye ho atoye and kane ke yesen kane no de and de no credit e ba kope what the compare neidie compare kane no a na neidie de yesen kane no but Ghana ni say a World Bank che say omo ye mu fihwebu no hu say e da bo dene okoha dan a ntika dan a na nkatama na ye ho e kire ye mpa no na nke bia 1,000 cedis a month no sa e dan ne me no kase betimi akobia 1,200 and asa 1,004 in 2005 sa na che rent pressures e wo ho and a transport cost e ho na me wo ayi kakra omo che say ya anye careful a transport cost no so betimi aheti e beni say e be ne ya me no kase the GNTC4 any GPRTU any the transport ministry ne tenase no omo decide on the transport fare no see e betum anase yantum etu omo che say oil na what market e kosro no 109 per barrel no I say kwamanya ne tie say na no pay a drop it but e call 9 no kra no omo che say a pass and I say go beyond the 10% threshold no eto hu behia se etoto transport fare mu ebi so chese no da bi baby adu no still an enye all that significant and hit a driver for no papa etike be ya yenjai ene ade ba driver for no so I give say apart from even the fuel no kra no they buy you fair say spare parts and the spare parts so no bo abasro and afei okọ ba bi ti say insurance premium no so no and also abasro eti eno ka ho bi and the bema transport fare no akoso so we are waiting set meeting no on be wie no na de ekwakosi and the food prices and so mo che say ebebasro food inflation de akanyame adom aba form kakra na fufu ayetwa fufu na ayetwa for 10 Ghana cedis no still are 10 Ghana cedis me hunu say ya sesemu ti say de na kan hunu no first no but how much say if care is not taken sir you know food prices ne ebetimi akoso which coming from the World Bank. Okay, I say fiscal discipline improving confidence and debt restructuring easing pressure and investor confidence gradually returning. And the IMF program showing early results. These are missed on up. Okay, so fiscal improving, fiscal discipline improving confidence. So IMF for so say I yesi kasem no ye dinini ye very disciplined. Say ye ntimi nkofesika ebia de ma ministry bia on fa nkoye saade we se ni edini nyafu afi ye de akowra we mu na contract ni ebia 3 cities cry so ade na 9 cities ni ade ma say ye nye discipline ade ani kwa se disika kowra mu ye de akowra mu de ehia nko ana ye no yes say aban we se buy no wa ye saade no nti ama confidence about it is improving confidence. That is that or say fiscal discipline right to force na wade ade bi aba na saade na wade aba no ye friend commencement authorization yes commencement authorization say so we ministry and I say we institution say aban ase na se bia ye the budget ba ye allocate sika de ba ministry hono a wontimi fi prekopa na on starting use sika say eyawo na wo minister it is kana beto account ma mo shase mo fa bi nkwa ha munye we say we aduma we say yes CC 6 unit classroom block mo koyek compound mo ko se debi wontimi use sika no ya lock no it will take the Ministry of Finance and I no ato force as a Minister of Finance no or then the bema go ahead say sika we say obetimi start here use no sa time we tieni yo obetimi use no sa time we say it bi kwa na the sika no by be January ye dey by January no ohwe no ma bi ansa so no ma mu a na bi o ma go ahead be a March and April intimi no mo ka say some of the ministers ye budget we ba bi edi sika kono bebre kwa no ye mi o ma you know commencement authorization ye mi ma o starting use o musika enko bo chese ne na ma road minister koye sa so source bebrebe no because anya sana we lose a lot of contractors so no can we be to right to force yes ade no ni na for fiscal discipline enti the ban so ne say ye bie de ba wa so use scan fast na ye no ma wantimi use na December ba ni ya close no enti se usika no wa use ni na dia kan biare sa ban sa edeko so se ne be ya or the way ni na ba send your buyer intimi ni sika no nyafunyafu. Debt restructuring is in pressure. Eti your debt ye car ye de no as ye restructuring ye ni fa kwan ye be fa so e betu na e ma ye pressure no so te investor confidence gradually returning. Eti IMF for say uba Ghana a investor your confidence no and as a GDP more economy no as a gradually no sign aba kakra. So that is what the you for a catch. So the IMF program showing early results no or say but Ghana still faces debt vulnerabilities. Just say ya more bododo you can't a car ya dear Usha just say ya more papa sana IMF for air and also reforms must continue beyond IMF supervision. Asemwe ya ka just say adie bia ebeye bia no IMF for no crash say adie bia bia no we should make sure say ebe go beyond almost supervision. Na mane Dr. Nyame be feeding komo sisia na me catch and say doc say the IMF are predicting e dey na betimi aye to reverse that eno na see nya confidence ye dey share trim say no obi na be economy ne dey amaye ya na betimi aye. So we should not watch the projection dey o ma projected here, but we should also make sure do something to make sure say ade ne emam de bia ni kwase etraman nkofo ene bebe supervise en won na eche se ne besisi aye ba mo mfa anese for dodo anese for say wo pepa krase so fa ebia bless for 10 also da bi fa 3 pe ebe ma sika sam na say ene ade o fa ebia police for aka ho to beef up security to give value to the society. And the IMF will tell you say no men for police for 15 for police for 5 per 6 7 no the pressure better. So meanwhile you need the security to give value to the society because you haven't met the World Bank and the your friend say umiti the United Nations and the World Bank your friend is a threshold no and I say you know yes umiti so enti ebasa no a we have more security to do that. Na IMF no can share on the natural say come the door kra na apese udidi a o pese udidi to fufuo na to nam to so a no aka cho say nam no na say ka to 5 cedi but to 1 Ghana cedi pe on na natural kwan ya but on no che say yen go beyond that yen nya de a ebebro de enya IMF supervision kwan ya so yen nwene na yen fa enka the IMF supervision
kwaki fosu ebe kan say o mampani say LGBTQ no issue no enye ne priority say obehwe say enye ho adwuma na say enye ho adwuma well me susu say eno no eye o mampani na dwene na wachre na the woman say ono o mampani entumi say see enko kan kire parliamentarians ni say monye we see echina anasa de echi amon famra na men sign obekire na dwene say okay ade no cry no before see de bebre no so no on sign no that is a pass it through parliament na yen nyina so nim say o mampani right from day one ana waka a otaka waka mu bia ti biase nyina ti say sa sabio trumutumu ne ema omne me dane ade no onu na ni nye ho wakamu biati nemum onu antumi nka se waka se oyo mampani na ni nye ho nti no akofa kata biato wo se masan se ma ni nye ho nti yentwam firi o man no no
yeah
ontumi nya ne
yeah
yes a parliamentarians no ene be yen hyehyeye na ye hwa ban no atwa mu no a aban atwa mu de o mo ye bibia se so o mo ye bia the previous parliament o mo ye de se so o mo ye bia na edru say e was so mampani esign ena yes obi de court yes obi atre letter come parliament clerk of parliament so document no cry one hwe no one fancy first house and as independent Jubilee House on no one fancy Jubilee House say o mampani akufuado on sign yet he answers will be so the court. Eti na say wo mo ankasa wo mo pray say yen fa de ne nyamra wo mo ye ne mra no na kwan bi so no wo mo mpene so isan say MPP aban sha ase no Honorable Intim Fojo, Reverend Intim Fojo. Mwa say ene wo kasa sei. Ebi za kasa wo kasa nyina, ba kasa omo ma ban mu krada. Na na nim say echiwade eboman. Munim say ade no enye papa. Adentina mo ye ho adwuma nyina wie ye no. Wo wan sha wo mo mampane ye president Akufo-Addo. Mo nyina mo majority ana mo wo no so. Ansho mampane Akufo-Addo say yenya pass ne de wo sabo nso besan.
Yeah.
Ansan na enne ya mo free hoko no afei na wo be hye o mampani president Mahama afei no aba ono emesensan obede no asan
yeah
ade no mo amuche emra no kora mu bebre ni ho eje emra na wo se ye no foforo
yeah
na emra na ye no foforo no nti o mampani nya adwuma wo ye bia fanto ho na o mehwe se mo parliamentarians no mo ye LGBT no adwuma ma na asan awie ansa na akoye adwuma foforo ana sabe mpani se ye di hia ansa na ye di fata enjo mampani ayadwenkyere no akyere se wono de se sia na komo ade ganafo aho kyere ganafo wom ganafo enya nsuo nom ganafo ehia electricity ganafo omo akwan ye emfuomu nyuma emfuomu nuane a ganafo koye wi a esen pese na no yesi ye kotonto sikra bobokina edi ewuo nyina baaye eno hon adwene eda no so no onya no nkodi LGBTQ no nko achi ana ade ni nna hio nanso bi hia chen bi etimi so mampani ka ne sei ya won kan se wo mo de parliament for no ye wi no de bakra won san e se de ba ko no etwa mu no enya sa no mampani ka eye na dwene na wo kire na wo kire na dwene nso a opese wo kire se wo man no ho do no ehia no LGBTQ ya ye ka ho asemi o mampani a obi asabe ya wona to Assemblies of God asofo mpanimfo no no mu kọ nakra na enyi ni se ntumi nkasa won kenkan Roman fo ngomati baako ejiche mudu nsia akopim na wiye no no kra ka to se even anya wo mu aye no nko akra ni nyame betwe wo maso demo wo mu abua wo mu aye no minim so mampani wonim there's no way so mampani ebeba abatia beka se one de LGBT no ma kwan se obi anya de ope I don't think so betumi ayesa na mum enje say wo ne say wo de mo pa ye nyina ye ntro challenge ema parliamentarians say every ne because busumi awieye na enje say bia wo hu bia no mo aye no mo fa nkoto mampani anim ne yenhwe so obesan ana so onsan yenhwe entimi nua so obisamia
so omanpanyi time na no oye campaign 2024 no everywhere ojira bia o so already oba obesign the LGBTQ+ bill no okay then ye to about the man no the first obebeshia the Catholic Bishop Conference and other two omani say bill na expire it say the call parliament year reconstitute ni na for ne ade that's fine so we share the commitment there banner in kofo say yes and the on my pedicure betu na nimu obesign but the question here we say that the word priority say enya me priority no sen ko because we say your mind na wonwene say be prebiasa enya your bona fide property and a lot of people voted for you because of that LGBTQ+ bill Akufo-Addo failed to sign etu ukoka say na disappointing kofo as like discouraging conform to about the mouth.
Minia, there be any sanity. Or stay any priority. And now, Brofono, Anna, ye per se, a be a Brofona or Kayeno, and I ya trust you for fro, and now saying, so can say any priority. On can't say one you. On kase wonye
me kase na wadamo me kase wose onye me pese me kire say eye de ba obesan but said the word na as at least you should have said that look ye de ba me sign but o kase enya me priority the word priority over another thing no na me kire say there were some millions or thousands that voted for President Mahama because of the campaign case ya ba me sign it no case nya priority Don't you think say you shouldn't have gone there at all? Say could be a make say or the word priority company you should say or the me bar mesan let the parliament prepare a bar mesan then so be using the word priority.
Tio sabi obi a one ne mate na odwene ne ma ho so na ope ebra bia ma ne ma abono ta wodi bi foforo bia be ka ho a enyam fasodie bi emma nkwada no a obetumi aka cho so ka wodi be yemfa we nto nchen ansa na yenye de hia ne nwie de fata no nso ye beye ne priority no work na asem ni nyina no no wose ye de hia ansa ne aye de fata parliamentarians me say my intro challenge to them yemfi ani bre nyina nko hwe honorable abambabin eso na on kana parliamentarian de sese omoye no omonye na omoye wie eso mampani san be kase mo ye wie na so nyame priority dia and we shall all take him on and the na chese ye hunu say enada bi e no be dada yin say ye kin unlike Akufuado ye de ade na ye wi ade na ye de ba wo so mi emfa manim kura mo sa pe obi awurawura mu se mo na mpa no se mo ye den yo amani pa no de akokot ebre du se ya ka se o ade no afa de ya ma ho kwan so obetumi asan na oni aban mu bi na ebre ko ejubo pese de Akufuado ansan no eno ne emfa nkoto president Mahama anim na onko san ana na question is say omo de mfie say bo so me san ena di ho abobo wie yan sana ekodu Akufuado ho ada na say si wo pese yenya adwuma omo ye nyina to ho na yenko ye LGBTQ no ho adwuma emompani nsa omampani ensan ansana yakoye bibi foforo na
okay
etimenia aso mesre asofo mpanimfo no se ma omo nunu no bebre omampani apart from so ye mampani no osanso ye nipa oye Ghana niba ono nso wo nadwene etomre bi a national issues bi ho a otimi kire nadwene
okay
eni nti nadwene na wa kire se saa de ehia onka se ehia nenso no enye se ehia se ekomo ade nkrofo no yenya no to won yenko ye LGBTQ no ho adwuma
okay
eti se ehwe we se mu wia a kire no akwanya bana se parliamentarians on the brenoa what can it several times menyi ni se omampani betumi akogina ebedam akoka se me hye mo parliamentarians na hye bedwafo se mo nkoye no ho adwuma na mo mfamra eno kura nso no ye beka so omampani wode na no etoto parliamentarians wo mo nsemu ye beka so omampani adwuma esese wo ye no wo nhwe so nye ena de ehu hia ai wo se obi na ye no no de na no kototumu
okay
eno nti mo me nhwe no
all right
na ye ma ne bre na ye nhwe se ampa parliamentarians ya party mra na wie abeye emra omampani fansa hyase na enye mra wo manum na what say me nsan ananse Julius Debra ebetre letter command the clerk of parliament akachira ne say kan no amfa character na nsi ayi Jubilee House hadia enya sabra ne betumi hold no responsible ye betumi hold no na ya kachira ne say nye say na ono ye kan ye it is sense here there either priority or not priority. The president don't have any authority to sign any document for now. Okay. The document, LGBTQ document, is not ready for the president to sign. Okay. And you're ready.
All right.
Now say you're ready, dear. And you're able to figure out near Kupia, Kratanam, Nakubra, a Jubilee House ho. Ama wapo, wampo, what signed the Amagana for. Ama a so far, womu say, womu no. I am one.
Let me switch to Bishop J.Y. Do and come back to you. Just stay tuned for me. I'm told that this time around, say Bishop Bishop, good afternoon. Bishop, good afternoon. Hello, Bishop. Bishop, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. Now, Uti.
Hello, afternoon.
Yeah, Metonka, Bishop.
Nasubi.
Yeah, Metonka, Bishop. What a man.
Ah, meto kapa.
Ah, okay. Okay, Bishop Manenko meet you, Manenko.
Yo. Oye, mamencha na mencha wa hwefo no atifo. Eno a menti man kasa ya me yayi. Na mencha osofo Christian. Chira bosom so mecha no. LBTQ asem na beda ho no. Enya asem ketewa bi a ɛwɔ sɛ didi agorɔ. Dedi kan yɛ man mufoɔ yɛ kyiri saa adeɛ no kɔkɔkɔkɔ. Yɛnya mesom, yɛabosonsom, yɛnkramusom, yɛ kyiri saa adeɛ no. Ana sɛ sɛ abɛda hɔ sɛ the whole world so ɔmpɛ sɛ ɔmo bɔ saa bra no. Nti nɔkwasɛm pɛ ɛwɔ mu sɛ aman mpanyinfo a ɛwɔ countries a ɛkyiri saa adeɛ no ɔmo ho akyere ɔmo. Because obi wɔ hɔ a ne country no Americafoɔ yi a ɔmo soso saa adeɛ so ɔmo na ebere ɔmo sika ɛte sɛ Ghana ɔmo na ɛma yɛ sika de bɔ akɔnhoma ɛyɛ nneɛma bebree na afei deɛ ɔmo so ɔmo kyiri no yɛto yɛn ntuo kasa ɔmo kasa ɔmo pɛ no ne yɛn bɛ kasa ɔmo mpa a yɛn ne yɛn mpa a ɔmo nte aseɛ na maame nfa nkɔ akyiri kakra. Yemi say I will say a dear potina sadi the whole world say omonyo santru nuntri. I didn't hear. The woman in say nipa was so I does. Kedi pa no telefone tedi. Nipa was so I does. And you know Omo nipa ti kwambe na yam so a yete so eno ne abɛhyɛ wiase nyinaa sɛ yɛmfa
Bishop, you know, and why. So let me engage and Nana Bribi Bana. Yeah, ended this section. Hello, Nana Pachotemeka. All right, Nana. Yeah, end it. Let me end with you now. Okay, yeah, priority. Let me say another word that akwakofa problem aba and then utie social commentators, political analysts, traditionalists, religious leaders obie ka ho asem say o ma panini sa word in the na nu kwasen ko use that word. Now yen share the priority de kakra o ma panini oba no eno ma na do dan kwaku for fail to remove ono ye sen ko ba obeye. For example, no so oba quickly the e-levy obetwam betting tax obeyi de free ho a lot some taxes be near the obey the fuel and also promises that the LGBTQ plus bill or sign. Then the speeder or the man the e-levy the betting tax in the others no. People think say you should have put premium on the same attention or farmer the same you say the LGBTQ plus bill because they are also the same. That's the reason why some people voted for him.
Minya someone will be family who Yemisa say betting tax o mampani yi free ho no e ma omanfo ho to mo anaso mo ho antom omanfo ho to mo mo ani age e levy o mampani yi free ho no e ma omo ho to mo anaso mo ho antom omanfo ho atom mo ani age say ya kane aka ECG for say omo ate so some percentage any water so utility bills are yet to name you know kabuma hovering around 8%. Ebe mo man for one to one and ebe mo man for one to dollar Yes, you see, I buy on buy and a cost 17 and 20 and 18 and 15. Yes, I see a dollar a bit in a falcon. A beer 11, 10. A man for one tomo and I say my for one tomo. As I say, a man a very phone so a one tomo. Now ye be say LGBTQ ya woka once me. Say ye the yamra. A man for one tomo. And I am a man for one tomo. Ghana Benyan Fasubi. Anaga na enya mfaso bi minim se bia wonim se aban ba ye no ana America sika bi ho ana nka omde ma oman a wo mu atwam eye grant bi a America for so mo mfa ma yibi so kaya yes USA wo mo so mo mfa ma yibi mu no enye LGBTQ nti no mo so mo mfa ma yibi mu nemu ye tete ya ntoto no yie enti no mo so mo mfa ma yibi mu nanso ye economy no ekonanim se si ya me no kasai Iran US Israel war ejinamu den omanfo ye ama economy no ade be na akọ affect no eye fuel a ye nya free ho e na ama affect yen kakra enso kura no enye den bia te se kane no so
yeah
enti wototo sa wo de sa niam we say no toto ho a obia be ka kire wo say ma ye nya de hia no ansa na ye de fata enunti na mi bisa say see betting tax you free ho no e de aduane abesi obi table.
Okay, Nana, yeah, Chadio. If you follow a parliamentary procedure and a parliamentary business, how long does it take to pass a bill? Because the bill is already been prepared. It is only to be laid on the floor of parliament. You add it to the business for the parliament for discussion. Then after you say you pass a bill. So how long, how sweat, the energy, time wasting, burn one more as you intimi yes we see.
Sir, me kaisa lobby. By him say woman ma lobby. It take over 20 years. One emrebi wo ho. Hey, minia
affirmative action. Yeah, affirmative action.
Yes.
Then RTI bills say it take a long time.
Yes, RTI bill. So we are winning. It take some years. And then I buy koi. And then it me abeye dwuma. Na me masem ne say eti oman yesterday kan oman yasem a eti your priority ni say parliamentarians no be jadi omo ye bia na wo mo abeka LGBTQ no ho asem ana ma me nsre asofo mpanimfo no
me ba nana kufu at the time they say parliamentarians no mu ja omo bibia omo ye bia pass a law no ana can they do the same thing and pass the law?
Yeah.
Because even that time the economy was in the catastrophe. The economy was not good, and they were putting everything into its position to make sure say the economy not very shape economy. So they were even in the red eyes and also sweating at that time. But yet they got time in 2024 to pass the bill.
Okay, mini amaminka semtro. So they na bishop can say amaya omon pese. LGBTQ na bekoso wo mo man mu no wo mo obre grant bi o ha ye mfama wo mo ana meboa
yeah
yes ana no woka
yeah
so wan so ya we meboa
yeah
na sabi mpani say sabi mano echesu no azo sabi mpani say ni frani ka so beto boa boa na e kire say ne nan esibi bi so ana meboa
yeah
meboa enti say yanhwa ntutu ye economy ni yie yanhwa ma ye sika semo enyina brane yanhwa ma say ebi abreach ebi boba ebi kura no a omanfo ho nkokere wo mu na wo se wo jai eno ho adwuma ye wo jai economy no ho adwuma ye wo jai wo sika semo ntutu ye no a wo toto no ho adwuma ye na wo de akotwe manso a wo hwe nipa no ane no kotwe manso na ho odin eno nti ansa na abai wadwene say me kotwe manso no e wo so hunu se nipa no amne no kotwe manso no se wo gye me nsem aduane di kura no a mimmu se wo beton ma japade wie kura mi kura no a enha me eno nti no ejidi ye se ye man ye tumi to tu yen sika sem ye ni agina brane na se ye pass law no a ye bishop J
so what you are saying you know you are confirming and I say you are endorsing an Akufo-Addo the other case say any more fancy Jubilee House work and I say it's not ready to sign it because that biso no ono so consider sa no manana.
So no de onim say obi anim say na economy no obey on be ye ne de. Na because me ye can say economy mpo. E no no buy on be ye. MPP for no say ye can economy na yi bra na ba umia wo opposition. Ni anim say ye economy wizard. Ni enim say economy messiah ye enim say oye economy savior ya ye de o man sika sem no man tutu ye say ni sem a obefa dollar no for no wo de ko wie say no de ko wie ye e chom no de wo mo amebobra bia
Okay.
eni nti ye hwe e ma de president Mahama ne NDC aban eye wo mo hwe ma ye sika sem ni nyina brand ye e di say me matumi abobra ya sebe me na me wo fa bi me na me nua bi me na madamfo bi na se matumi abobra na se me wo fa bi ana se me nua bi madamfo bi de asem bi be from ya me matumi agina me nan so aka kire nse we dia me mpe eno nti hwe ma me nka se bi kire na me fa se mra wiye ayese emfatu hu bi a obi eyeye wachi akokọ na watutu akokọ no ho nyina akokọ no obeye mobo esan se mpani se akokọ ntakra na ma ne yekase nanso ntakra hu ahwe nim de fa nyinam kwatere kwa wachi akokọ no watutu akokọ no ho nyina de di kan awade no awobekọ no widie mu ahwe ye kura obewu ekom san de no nanso tie wo yire broki tuwa bi edi to wo nsam na de mienu egu ho ma akokọ no be so bro no mienu adi afa ba bi abekọ bia obesan di wachi adapa wa bonu nyina nim guase wagu ni nyina no edam so wo bibia wo de man edi kona no nti no obesan di wachi na we de se wono ankasa tumi bono ho bra na wo se wona wo de a wo be ndan ya wono no wonya de onfiu.
Okay.
Enu nti no ese me endorse de parliamentarians ne ye no emra kwan na nhihye da ho esese wo mo de ye adwuma e ma ye de pass emra no wo mo mfanye wo mo ye no de koto mampani animu a obesan edi sesi ano yemfa ne se o mampani se enye ne priority yanko parliamentarians wo ne yanko bi se wo mo se wo mo nso wo mo priority ana enye wo mo priority enu nti no ye ntena ho e obi metutu ye ho nwie na no akofa pro kitwa mienu bi de abeso ye se yen san kodi na chi.
Thank you very much.
Na see ko sa LGBTQ no a yen kasa America for so mo aduane ni nti yen sa
Elokre pa
all mampani kano o me nyina support no ne yemfa ani bran ko so parliamentarians no so na yen challenge wo mo say mo na mo betumi aye ama mampani asan ya mambusu mienu busu miensa mo nye no mampani ensan no mo ye wo mo de awia mi gidi ye so mampani o mu ye ni mu ase.
Thank you very much.